everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to today's video, which is me doing a great big batch cook that I will be benefiting from during my postpartum period because I am pregnant, and I have decided to do a big batch cook to make my life and my partner's life, in fact my whole family's life, so much easier when the baby is here. So I have decided to make 16 family meals and 11 family desserts. Now, my idea was to cook it all in one night, which whilst cooking it, I realised that that wasn't going to be possible. So I did most of what I could do during the night, and then I filmed the next day as well. So here is my huge shop that I did. I can't tell you how much fun I had collecting all of the ingredients together because I thoroughly enjoyed making all of this. Now, I have 4 different meals that I'm going to make. The first one is a Veggie Musaka. Second is spaghetti bolognese. Then I made a cheese and onion sauce to go with pasta, and then a corn cottage pie. Here are all the ingredients. I have bought so many bags of corn. I kind of overestimated the amount that I was going to need, so I had a lot left over in the freezer, which is fine because we always need extra corn anyway. I have to say to start with that we are all vegetarian in my family, so you won't find any meat-based products here, and I've used corn products in 2 of my dishes, in the corn cottage pie and in the spaghetti bolognese. I am doing a peach and raspberry crumble with a really nice almond crumble topping, which I've never actually made before, so I'm hoping that this works out and it tastes really nice. I'm also going to make an old school sponge cake, which is just basically a plain sponge cake with custard powder in it and icing with sprinkles on top. I'm also doing 2 different types of flapjacks. One is chocolate chip and the other one is coconut and raisin, and I'm going to do a pineapple upside down cake. So there is a lot squeezed onto my island here, as you can see. This is what I am going to be storing all the food in. So these are also going to be used for cooking. So it's going to go straight from the oven into the freezer after it's cooled down. So we've got foil trays. They come with lids. I'm still not sure what sizes I'm going to need for each of the things. And also I have some freezer bags. I've gone for the ones with a Ziploc slider top to make my life a lot easier, and I've also picked up some cling film, some greaseproof paper and some kitchen foil. And these freezer labels here are absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend them. I picked them up on Amazon and they are wonderful. So the very first thing is a pineapple upside down cake, which is relatively easy to make. As you can see, I'm making it in the foil tin and I am adding custard powder. This recipe kind of took me a little bit by surprise. I've never made it before. I got it off of the Tesco website. So I'm hoping that it tastes really nice with the custard powder in it. It's one of Jamie Oliver's recipes.
The fall is coming. I can feel it. The breeze brings goosebumps to my skin.
This is the first of the 4 meals that I'm going to make. This is my Veggie Musaka. The veggies I'm using in it are red and yellow peppers, tinned tomatoes, and I'm going to top it off with aubergines. And inside also is going to be red lentils. I love this style of moussaka. This is my little way of cutting up peppers. I find it quite easy. You get most of the seeds out in one go as well. As you can see, it's really easy. And if there's any left inside, it's easy to just rinse it under the tap and the water just flushes out the seeds. I used oregano and cinnamon in this recipe. I've actually followed this recipe from HelloFresh. It's a recipe that I really enjoyed. I got it a few years ago and I kept hold of the recipe card, and I've made it quite a few times now because it is such a nice, tasty meal. And this is actually the first time I've ever batch cooked it, so I was hoping it was going to be relatively easy, but there is quite a bit that goes into it, especially when you're making such a big amount, but it really does pay off because it's an absolutely delicious recipe and it's great for the kids. They absolutely love it, which is brilliant bonus. While that's cooking, I'm moving on to preparing the shepherd's pie. I call it shepherd's pie. It could be cottage pie. I mean, it doesn't really make any difference. It's made with corn mince rather than beef or lamb. So that is the moussaka being put into the trays. Here are the carrots and onions for the cottage pie. This is the mince that's already been mixed with gravy, and then I will just top it off with some mashed potato, and then that's it. When it's all cooled down, that can go in the freezer. I'm topping the moussaka off with the aubergines and they will be grilled. Here is my pineapple upside down cake and my old school cake. And I haven't topped the old school cake with the icing because it doesn't freeze very well like that. You do it after it's thawed. That's my cottage pies all ready to go and to be labelled up. These containers are fantastic. I had to get one with lids purely because I'll be storing the food for quite a while. But yeah, there we go. That is the moussakas all ready to cool down, and then I can pack them up. I'll put the lids on and then I'll wrap them in cling film as well. This is the Bolognese sauce. I mean, it is pretty simple to make bolognese. I've actually cheated. I'm making it from a jar. I don't even know if I can class that as making a bolognese, but having the mince and the bolognese and the onions all ready, it's already cooked. All I have to do then is defrost it and then warm it up in a pan and then literally just cook some spaghetti. It really doesn't take a lot of time at all, especially when my time is very limited. And rather than putting them into a foil container, these can go quite easily into these plastic bags. Best to label them first, otherwise it's a bit wobbly trying to label a bag full of a fluid. So these will just sit here and cool down, and then when they are a good temperature I can then put them in the freezer. This is my peach and raspberry crumble. I'm not making the whole crumble because it is so simple to make. I am just making the crumble topping with almonds, and then I will freeze that in a freezer bag. So the crumble is peach and raspberry, and now when I decide that we're going to have the peach and raspberry crumble for our pudding, I will defrost the crumble, which won't actually take very long to defrost at all. You don't actually really have to defrost it, but on the bottom I will empty the 2 tins of peach slices and use the juice from one of the tins, and then I will sprinkle over the raspberries, and then once I've done that I will then cover it with the crumble topping, which I will be putting in these bags. And then I'll just put it in the oven. So it's so simple to make. I've never made it before, so I'm hoping it's really nice. This is a Jamie Oliver recipe as well. I decided to make some flapjacks. Number one, flapjacks are really, really nice. Number two, I planned on breastfeeding my baby, and I know they say if you eat oats, that's really, really good for your milk supply. So my idea was to make lots of flapjacks and eat them and eat a lot of them, eat them daily. So I've decided to make chocolate chip flapjacks and also raisin and coconut flapjacks as well. This is my very first time making flapjacks, so I was a little bit nervous, hoping that it was all going to go all right, but to be honest, it went so easy. It's just a matter of melting the sugar and the butter and then pouring in the basic ingredients. I mean, here is the coconut, raisin and oats. I had bought so many oats, I thought I was going to have so many left over, but it's great for flapjacks because you use quite a bit of it and you can make big batches. So this made quite a few flapjacks for us. I was so impressed on how well it turned out actually. I was hoping that it was going to turn out pretty good, but when I saw it, oh, it looked great, and I tell you, it filled the kitchen with the most delicious smell. I am going to be making these on the regular now. And then I made a cheese and onion sauce. This cheese sauce is actually my auntie's cheese sauce. It's her, I mean, a cheese sauce is a cheese sauce, but this cheese sauce is delicious. I have not found any cheese sauce in the supermarkets that compares to how nice this one is, so I'm always sticking to making a homemade cheese sauce. Now, the reason why I have made this and froze it, because it does take a little while to put together, and I really do not have the time to stand there doing all of that when I have 4 children under the age of 3 to look after as well, and they all, well, apart from the baby, they all love the cheese sauce, and I mix it with pasta and then I add vegetables to that mix, and they thoroughly enjoy this. And I think it's because the veggies are coated in the cheese sauce as well. They don't really taste it, so it's really good if you have a fussy toddler that really does not like their vegetables, even a grown-up. Sometimes they don't like their vegetables either. But I made a really big batch of cheese sauce and split it into 4 containers. It's a cheese and onion sauce because I fry up some onions as well, which aren't frozen with the cheese sauce. They are actually frozen separately. I put the onions into little Ziploc bags and I put the cheese sauce into these small foil containers. Actually, could not believe how well they filled each container. I was thinking, oh, I'm going to be pushed with this one, but it worked out pretty well. And then when I wrapped up the cheese sauce, I attached the bag to the cling film as well, so it's all wrapped up in one. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to give me a great big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. I'd love it if you would subscribe and stick around. It's totally free to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.